Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7 of my Minecraft survival series. In this episode, we're actually going to be finishing up this giant map room that I've started. It's going to be quite a task, but that is the plan for today, and to help speed it along a little further, I went through great lengths to look for a jungle, and I managed to find some bamboo for scaffolding. So this will be my first time trying to use scaffolding, and hopefully it will help speed up the process a little bit. And as you can see, we do have quite a bit to do since all I have done is the floor. So that's not a lot. And the mountain here will have to go, part of it does. I think what I'm going to do though, for this first part of the video, we're just going to time lapse a little bit of me getting the roof started because it is going to take me a while to measure everything out. So let's get this episode started off with a quick time lapse. Alright, that was a pretty good start on this roof. This is a lot bigger than I thought it would be as I was working on it. I eventually had to stop because I did run out of dark oak as I was building. But let me get another look at it from a distance because it's not looking exactly like I was hoping. Looking at it way back here, you have to get pretty far back to see it because it's so big. The angle of the roof isn't quite as steep as I was hoping it would be. There is going to be a second level that I started to go up in the center where you're going to see it a little bit better sticking above, but I don't know if I want to make that steeper because then the roofs won't match, so we might just keep it at this really low angle, but I think it's looking pretty good so far. And now I need to figure out how to fill in these sections in here if I want to use dark oak or if I want to use some glass just because of these skylights I have on my floor, so I need to account for that. I could always just put glass in the spots where the skylights appear, because I feel like the glass would kind of ruin the look of the roof, but if you just had it in spots, that would make it even uglier. This building is already really special though, so we might just go that route. Let's just go down here and see if we can get ourselves some glass. Let's see if we can make a few pieces of brown glass, and we'll try it in spots at first so we're not wasting it. And we'll just fill in the rest with dark oak for now. This is also actually the very first time I've ever used scaffolding in this game, so I'm still trying to get used to it, but I'm really liking it so far. Okay, so on this roof, what I might do is... Oh, I need to figure out where this is exactly. This one's pretty dead center, so I'm probably going to put glass somewhere around here, but let's just go ahead and start filling it in with the dark oak first. We'll probably leave a spot or two open for this. Yeah, it doesn't have to take up the whole roof, I don't think. So if we just pull these back, just like so, all the way across. Alright, so I opted for doing a few rows of glass to keep it consistent. I just did it on all of the roofs and all the same places, but I made sure it did go over each of those holes in the ground, so the light should still be going through. And I ended up covering them all with trapdoors just to help cover it up and make it look a little cleaner on top, because I didn't want to see random glass spots in my roof. Now this middle section is another thing entirely, because I did most of it in glass. I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing up here though, where I'm just going to cover it all with trapdoors. But the only problem with that is covering these with trapdoors, you're not going to be able to cover both sides. So I might just try it like this and covering the tops and just leaving the sides exposed, but then it's going to look kind of almost striped, I think, from a distance. But I'm kind of curious how it's going to look, so I'm just going to go ahead and try it and see if I like it. But let's try this on just one side and then we can kind of get a better view from a distance. Yeah, every time I look at the dark oak trapdoors, I always think it looks like a chocolate bar and it always makes me so hungry. Why do they have to look so delicious? Okay, so from way back here, you can barely see it. Let's zoom in a little bit. We can still see that it's glass through there, but it actually looks kind of cool. It gives it some texture, so I might just leave it like that. I think it looks pretty neat. And I do have the upper roof a little bit a higher of a curve than this one. I really like the curve I have in my house, but unfortunately this building is just too big to get that height in this roof. But I was able to get a little more height in the center and I think it did turn out okay. Once I get those trapdoors in, I think the roof is basically finished. Then I'll just have to fill in all the gaps in the walls and do the interior. Easier said than done though, because this roof took me quite a bit of time to do. Alright, I think I have the roof complete now, and you can see it does look very interesting from down here as well with those trapdoors up there, but I actually kind of like it. I've never done a roof like that, and it adds some really cool dimensions to it. The last thing I have to do now, well, for the outside of the building anyway, is get these walls up. And I think I'm going to start with these outside walls first, and then I'll use that as a basis for whatever I happen to do up there. And taking another step back, this is like quite a bit of space to cover, so let's see what we can come up with. I think I'm going to try to stick with the similar blocks that we used for this building and this building. I know they aren't consistent, but we're going to just stick with those grays and whites and see what we can come up with. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to move some things out of the way. This little hill I have on the side is becoming quite steep. It's gonna be a whole other thing getting a staircase that goes up here, but for now this will have to do. And let's go ahead and do some large stonework going all the way down here. I do want it to stick out one block away from the rest of the wall because I want it to add some depth to it. I want to kind of look like the foundation here is going to be out of this stone brick. Alright, that doesn't look too bad so far. I'm not going all the way around at this point. I'm just starting on the front. Of course, it still looks really flat, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. My next question is whether or not I want to use more of this white concrete powder, because this is quite a lot of area to cover, and that's not going to be very resource friendly to use it the entire way for the walls. So I'm going to see if I can maybe just sneak it in here and there without using it completely on the walls like I did for the barn over there, because that was a lot of concrete powder and I don't think it would be the best choice if we're going to be saving on resources for this one. And already I have chopped so many trees just for the roof alone. I'm really ready for this building to be done. So anything that is quicker would be better. But of course, we want it to look nice too. Let's see if we can come up with some kind of interesting design here. I guess I could always introduce some polished andesite if I wanted to. Actually, let me go ahead and get some polished. I need to clean out my inventory a little bit too. It's kind of a mess from all the stuff I was doing with the roof. So we've got a whole bunch of leftover dark oak stuff. We can drop all of that in here. I don't think this looks too bad so far. I'm just trying a combination of some stairs and slabs, polished versus non-polished andesite. I'm actually starting to wonder if I need to fill this in at all, or if I should just leave it open and maybe make a nice arched pattern between each one. I think for Elvish style that would probably be the best solution, although that just means it would be very open and have a lot of things to look at, I guess, looking out in the windows, but I think that might be the best solution, so let's just keep working at it and seeing what we can come up with. So the tricky part, I guess, is to make sure we're following along the same path as the walls, and I kind of covered it here, but I think it goes, we've got 2 there and then 3 here for this little section. And we're gonna have to make sure whatever pattern we end up doing is gonna have to line up with those, and I don't want a corner stair here. Is there a way I can get around that? Let's see, maybe we'll just have to do something different than a stair here if it's gonna be a problem. Let's get rid of that. We'll just use a regular block for here. And then on top of that, it will be just slabs, I believe. Whoops, not those slabs. I need to actually make some regular slabs. So we need some regular andesite slabs. A few of those. Let's get up here and see this again. I kind of go crazy with the scaffolding. I still don't quite have the hang of it, so I don't know if I'm using too much of it. I don't know. I'm just very paranoid, I guess, about falling. Just like that. And I think that's actually all we need, because I think that's how the walls connect, so that's really all we need here. And we can also look at the roof if we need a reference, I guess. Alright, so this is one pattern I have come up with for this window. Now, each of these little sections is going to be a little different. For example, this one has a much lower roof space, so I'm probably not going to do any kind of pattern. It's probably just going to be a plain arch. And in the middle, we can do maybe something a little different. But I think that's a pretty good start. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. I think it will look better though once we get it all in place. So let me get busy and finish all of this up. At least on this front part, so we can get a better idea of what it will look like. Well, here is a couple of window patterns that I have come up with. I did rearrange them a little bit. I do have my center arch and then these 2 different designs. I'm kind of leaning more towards this one, and I was experimenting with different colors, trying to make it pop a little more instead of it just being all gray, because from the outside it does look like a lot of gray, and I thought the white would be a nice contrast. I'm not really good at making these interesting patterns right away, so it does take a lot of trial and error. I probably designed like 4 to 5 different patterns for these windows, but I think we're finally going to settle with that diorite one we have over there, and we'll just do this all the way around. And this is going to take me a while to get this filled in all around, so I'll be right back. Not you guys again. Come on down here and face me. Yeah, that's right. Come on down here and face me. Oops, I just hit my dog by accident. Now where are the rest of them? These are only 2. There should be more close by, right? Oh, that was a little bit of lag there. That was quite a bit of lag, actually. Okay, I have done so much work getting all of these walls put up. Some of them are covered and some of them are not, and I even filled in the wall up here. Now, it doesn't look the greatest from inside, but I think it looks okay. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I'll just go with that. Coming out here, let's get a quick look at it from a distance. There are a lot of open windows and you can see straight through them, so it does kind of, I don't know, ruin the whole look of it. You can see those pillars inside. I don't think it's a terrible look though. Let me pillar up here just a little bit so we can see the top of the roof too. I do have some patterns up there, and there's like so many blocks that I used, I almost feel like I might have overdid it a little bit. I think I say that quite a lot, but it's true. I think I used maybe too many different blocks on this, but at this point, I want to be done with it, and I'll just say it's fine as it is. It doesn't look terrible, it's just that, I don't know, maybe it's just I need to plan out these things better. I keep hearing like a wandering trader or someone close by. I wonder if he's on the roof because I keep hearing him, but I don't see him. So we'll have to keep an eye out for him. I do have this little wall over here that I need to kind of fix the roof up on this side because it ran into the mountain. I might dig us out and make a nice room back there, but we can do that some other time. Now that we have most of the structure basically done, we can start adding a map, and I think it's just going to go right in the center here, and I need to figure out something for it to sit on. I might go get some wood to do that since I have so much stone here, and I'm loving this shortcut to get down to my storage room. I've been using it so much. So I do need to try to organize some stuff or put some things away first. I ended up not using that white concrete after all. I just stuck with diorite because it was easier to collect. Let's see, let's grab some spruce. I actually do have a couple of these spruce logs, but I should probably save those for some other time. So let's go ahead and make a few stairs. Maybe more than that. And I'm just going to steal some of my item frames here that I haven't used it here, and we'll use them for our maps. Here we go. I think we're all good to go. I don't know how big this map is going to be able to be. I guess it's just going to be as big as I can make it where it doesn't take up too much space. So this floor is kind of trippy because when I put something on top of it, it looks like it's floating. So I guess the question is if I want this map in the center to look like it's floating, or if I want to actually make it go down into the glass like I have these pillars, but we can always change it if we don't like it. So let's just make a basic square around this. Actually, we can make it a little rounded, I guess. Just go like this, and then we'll put stairs on the edges to kind of make it look more like a table. Just like this. We might have to get a slab for the corners, or a full block will work too, I guess. And this is actually a pretty big space. I think this is a decent size, at least to start. I don't think we're going to have a map this big yet, but I would love to have it fill up this whole space. So the center needs to be right where we are. So let me go ahead and make myself a map because I haven't even done that yet. Let me see if I can go find some paper. Alright, so our first map needs to be starting right here, whatever this place is. So this will be the center, and oh, it looks like we have to cover just a little bit of space over this way. So I want to make sure it's all covered, and I think I want to keep it at the lowest level. If we want to zoom it out later, I guess we can if we run out of space, but for now we'll just keep it at this space. Actually, my building looks pretty good from above. How about that? So let's place this one right there. And is there a way I can rotate it, or is that the right? Oh, that is the right direction. Never mind. All right. So actually what I should probably do is carry this with me so I can get the rest of the pieces to this map. So we need to go up. I always get confused with these maps. So right now I guess we're traveling east, I think. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So we are going east. Let's go ahead and make another map up this way. All right. And I only have 2 more with me. Let's go ahead and go back and try to get most of our base. That'd be nice to get the buildings that we currently have on a map. So traveling back this way. This is so confusing because I keep expecting my little dot to be going up or down, but we are going west, so we are going to the left of this map. We should be. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everything we've built. There wasn't a whole lot to cover, which is nice, but I have 4 to start, Actually, let's go see if we can make a few more. I don't have tons of iron to make these maps with, but let's see. Which one is the middle? This is the one we need in the middle, so let's put that one there. This one goes directly above that. Here. Oh no, it doesn't go there, it goes here. This one goes here. No, this is like a puzzle. It's so confusing. And this one goes here. So I guess we could at least get one for there. It would be nice to get the whole middle section done. So we need 5 more maps. Let's go ahead and get those. And it looks like my map is broken because I am on this map technically right now, but my little dot is like frozen on the side. So that's not fun. We'll have to just figure this out the best we can, I guess. Well, I accidentally made the same one twice, but that's okay. So let's get... how did I manage that, I wonder? Because these two are exactly the same. Is that even in the right spot? It looks like it is. Oh wait, or is it supposed to go up here? I'm so confused. Or is it supposed to go here? I don't even know. We'll have to figure this out. Oh, there we go. It almost looked like, okay, so I finally figured it out. Somehow it kept placing it at a rotated position, and that's why it wasn't looking right. So I do have these, and I have one more empty map. Okay, glad I figured that out. I'm not sure how I figured that out, but let's go ahead and just pick another spot. I think right here is actually where spawn is. Let me just get one more map since I still have one empty one. Alright, and we've got this one, which I think goes right here. If not, maybe it's next one down, right here. There we go. So that's a pretty good start on our map. We'll have to work on filling it up, and I know this isn't going to cover tons of territory, but that's okay. I just wanted the immediate location. I don't think there are any villages in this radius, although I have found a couple that we will have to go check out, but I don't think there are any close by, unfortunately. So if we do want to mess with a village, we'll have to go far away to deal with one, but that's okay. This mountain range we have right next to our house is actually really small. It doesn't go very far beyond this point. It might kind of fade off. I think there's a plains biome over here too somewhere, so we'll definitely have to check that out. Okay, I think that's a good start to our map room. I'm so excited. I do think I want to put some kind of light fixture in here. We'll have to touch it up in places. It's not perfect, but it looks okay so far. And how are you doggies doing? I did have to bring a few dogs in here to protect me because there are lots of scary monsters coming out and about while I was building it. I guess the next thing we really have to do though is work on this front entrance and the staircase. I do want to make a nice staircase that goes up there. We'll probably want to cover up these walls a little too. Right now I just left it as plain stone brick, but we could always make it a little more interesting later on. And I have to finish filling in this wall. And we also have all this potential space inside we could work with and put something in there, but for now it's just going to be an empty mess. But that's alright. Well, I did spend a lot of time building this. I hope you guys like how it turned out so far. I think it's okay. It always could use a few improvements, of course, but that's all for this episode. Thank you guys for joining me and for watching, and I hope to see you again in another one. Bye!